So now that we're making quite a bit of, headway with our ability system, with our firing, our aiming, our cycling between our weapons, all that kind of stuff, we want to go ahead and continue this with a reload ability. Now, with this, I'm potentially going to introduce you to two new concepts. So one of them being, if we view a gameplay effect, we can see the magnitude calculation type. We also have a custom calculation class. Now, I want to use this for the ability. I will explain why once we actually get there. And we also want to cover gameplay events. So the idea being we we activate the reload ability. It's going to be done predictively. In the activation, we are going to start performing a montage, for the pawn. And well, same thing with the weapon actually as well. So we're going to start the reload animation. And once we get to a certain point in the animation, we can actually send ourselves a gameplay event. So our ability is going to actually be listening for this event. Once it's been received, we know the magazine, for example, has, say, been inserted. So what we can do is we can go ahead and update our ammo values predictively. So the second the client puts the magazine in, our ammo values will update, then they will be later confirmed by the server. So it's going to work very similarly to how we did the actual fire ability. So if we take a quick look at that, well, really the only thing we had to do was create a scoped prediction window every time we went to, decrement our ammo in the magazine. We're basically going to do the same thing here. So once the magazine has been inserted / the event has been received, we create a new scoped prediction window, and we are going to simply apply the cost. Now the cost is going to be utilizing that custom calculation class that I was mentioning before. So overall, this will be a very simple setup, potentially even more simple than the actual fire ability itself, because there's no sending anything to the server. All we're basically doing is starting a montage and waiting for events from that montage and for that montage to end, basically. That's pretty much all we're going to do. So to begin, let's go ahead and in our abilities folder in the weapon module, let's go ahead and create that ability. So we want a input gameplay ability like all the others, and we're going to call it gameplay ability underscore reload. Let's go ahead and get that set up. Let's also make the constructor. Let's do the activate ability. We're likely going to want to do the can activate ability. So let's go ahead and add that. And yeah, for now, this will be all. So let's go ahead and create the definitions and not do what I just did. Clean up said definitions. And there we go. Okay, so just like all the other times, we do need a input tag. So let's go ahead and make one. So we're also going to go ahead and just include it so we can go right there. So we're going to do data tags and ability input tags.h. So let's head over to it and duplicate to make a reload input tag. So just like before, we go to the CPP file and make said reload tag. So there we go. We've already done this. I don't need to keep, covering it in depth. So we're going to set the input tag to tag underscore ability underscore input underscore reload. We're going to set the instancing policy to be e gameplay ability instancing policy. We want it to be instanced per actor. And for now, that is it. So we're going to have to set up some of the blocking, stuff in the near future, but we just want the logic working, basically as of now. So now we want to basically get the firearm logic component. So if we head to our fire function here, we already have our get firearm logic component function. We can go ahead and do the same thing. So let's just copy that, go to the reload.h, make a protected section, and we'll paste it, right on in. It'll make it a little bit easier. Did not mean to generate the definition. I actually wanted to forward declare it at the top, but we need the definition, anyways. So let's go to our fire and just copy and paste that in like so. So we need to go ahead and include the shooter pawn component and the firearm logic component. So let's get this organized. Oops, like so. So we have our stuff, then we have third party, and then below that we always have epic. So now in our case, I'm not 100% sure about I don't think we're going to need the firearm logic component inside of the can activate ability. However, I don't really need to worry about storing this variable. So basically all I'm really going to do is just simply return the result from this. And then if it fails, we return a null pointer. So now that we have that, just in case we want to use this inside of our can activate ability, and since we're not modifying any members of this class, we can just make it a constant. So simple enough. I'm going to move it above activate ability. It's just my preferred way of kind of organizing some stuff like this, and I believe we are pretty much ready to begin. So we need the firearm logic component. So let's go ahead and check it first. Well, actually, the can activate ability will be what checks it. So first off, let's do super can activate ability and get firearm logic component. So we know that it is in fact valid. So if basically get firearm logic component does not equal a null pointer, we know that we are good to go to just access it. So we can do get firearm logic component. And basically here we want to have a reload function. So let's go ahead and head over to that component like so, and simply make a reload function. So void reload. And we can generate the definition. So there we go. We're calling it. Now we need to think about how do we want to do this. So obviously we want to replicate the reload. We want other players to see the actual animation, all the fun stuff. And the way we want to do that is we need to actually have some way to, basically like we're doing the trigger count, trigger the reload animation. So in terms of the actual replication logic and all that being done in here, it is purely visual. So it's only the animations. The logic does not apply here, does not happen. So the way we're going to actually replicate this is going to be quite simple. We're going to use a byte. So we're going to make a U property. It's going to be replicated using, and we're going to do onRep underscore reload trigger. That's just what I'm going to call it. And we're going to use a uint8 and call it reload trigger. And we'll just set it to 0 by default. Now let's make a U function for the void onRep reload trigger. And inside of here, we are basically just going to fetch the reload animations. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and mark this for replication. So we have the trigger count. We also have the reload trigger. And again, we want it to be skip owner because in this case, and same thing, we don't actually want to call the, we don't want it to replicate, for ourselves basically, because we're going to be triggering it manually. So we're not going to replicate it to, us. Let's move the reload trigger down above reload, keep it nice and organized. And inside of reload, we want to increment the reload trigger. And if we have authority, we want to mark the property dirty from name. So U firearm logic component, reload trigger, and the object is this. Next up, we want to go ahead and call the onRep reload trigger. So that way we can make our way here and actually perform the montage. Let me get rid of that extra space right there. So inside of here, we want to actually just simply perform the animation montage. That's really it. So to give this a test, we can go ahead and just make sure. So that's UE log temp, warning, text, perform, reload, montage. So we just want that to print out. All right. Lastly, before we do this test, we also need a way to fetch our actual reload animations. So if we head over to our firearm data asset, we currently don't have anything related to, well, those montage. We have the unequipped montage, but that's about it. So we're going to copy this guy here. We're going to make a new tsoft object pointer, uanim montage, and this one is going to be the, let's do the pawn reload montage. Let's have another one that is a tsoft object pointer, because we're not going to be having a anim instance on the actual firearm meshes. We're just going to be using the actual animation assets. So basically how we would end up performing this, let me actually head to the firearm. So let's say we grab the firearm mesh component. We would have, was it play animation? It takes in a U animation asset. So we need this type here. I couldn't remember exactly what it was called. So U animation asset. And this will be the firearm reload animation. So we want two pairs of these. So we want one for if we are, empty. So let's, for example, the 1911, the slide is going to be locked to the rear, and we reload, finish putting the magazine in, drop the slide, versus these, which are going to be, slide is not locked. We're just going to drop the mag, put a new one in, that's it. So we're going to copy and paste it again, and we'll call it on empty reload montage and firearm empty reload animation. So let's give these a little child category, and we'll call it reload. So we'll kind of categorize these all together. So this way we actually have the animations. We know they're being loaded into memory because of the asset bundles, and pretty much they should be ready to go. So we're going to have to do, I believe, some checks potentially. So to handle, say, join in late players, say someone starts reloading. I'm going to actually go ahead and recompile and relaunch while I'm talking. Say someone starts reloading and then a player joins in, mid reload. I believe there's the possibility that these assets might not be already loaded in yet, and they could cause problems. I'm not 100% sure on that. So that'll just have to be kind of something to check out. I mean, realistically, it might not matter, because the only thing that really matters is performing the reload ultimately server side, so that the server receives the events and can apply the effects. It would be nice to have it on the local client, which, I mean, if the local client can reload anyways, it's gonna, everything is loaded at that point. So it's not really a concern. All right, so we have our reloadability and we have our reload animation set. So let's go ahead and set those reload animations. So we can go to data, data assets, weapons, 1911, and we'll open up the 1911 data asset. Let's go to our reload section, and we need to make the reload montage, but for now we can actually select the reload animations. So we have a 1911 reload, and below that we have the reload empty. So of course it's on the wrong screen. So slide lock to the rear, magazine in, slide drops home. So we have those. Let's go to the BAR and basically do the same thing. So BAR, reload, BAR, reload empty. So exactly the same thing. Magazine gets inserted and the charging handle runs and locks the bolt to the rear, because again, this is a open bolt firearm. Okay, so we have that. Now we need the montages. So let's head over to the 1911 animation character. Probably going to want to organize these at some point, but let's make a new anim montage. So we're going to make a being blind, miscellaneous, nope, animation montage for the mannequin. So am underscore 1911 underscore reload. Open that on up. And we're just going to drag and drop in the 1911, if I can find it, the 1911 reload, and we'll do the reload empty. So we're going to drag both of these in, and we want to right click, make a new montage section, and call it reload empty. So we'll drag that in and go to montage sections and hit clear because we want these to be separate and kind of distinguished. And we'll call this one reload. So we have reload and reload empty. So next up, we need to check and make sure these animations are actually going to be additive, but that is something I will come back to when we actually get to that point, because that's kind of a separate little discussion just for those unfamiliar with additive animations that I kind of want to cover. So we have the 1911 reload. So pawn reload montage, 1911 reload. Now that I'm thinking about it, we can actually get rid of the pawn empty reload montage. That is not needed. So let's go to our BAR, animation, character, and honestly, I'm just going to, I'm not going to duplicate the unequip. We'll just make a new one. So anim montage for the mannequin, am underscore BAR underscore reload. So here's our BAR reload. Close that so it fixes the preview. Then we want the BAR reload and reload empty. Same thing, clear the, oh wait, I need to make a new montage section first. So reload empty, put it right at the start, and change default to reload. And then just clear these out so, they do them individually rather than, playing through the entire thing, like you can see here. So there's our BAR reload, save that, and we are now pretty much good to go. We have everything, and they should be loaded into memory, for testing. So we just want to get rid of this pawn empty reload montage because we are going to be utilizing the same name that is, inside of here. We're going to be utilizing the two sections. So what we want is some U properties. So let's just copy this. We don't need the meta attributes. And this will be F name, and let's call it reload section name. And we'll initialize it to F name reload. And let's change ammo to reload, ammo to reload. Let's make another one, and we'll do reload empty section name, which is reload empty. So we have reload and reload empty to match reload and reload empty. So this is kind of the setup we want. Okay, so we can go ahead and close out of the editor, and we are pretty much good to continue. So hopefully we can close out of this data asset here, and that becomes not needed because the rest of the logic should be done inside of the ability and firearm logic component. So with all that said, we're going to go ahead and end the video here, and I'll see you in the next one. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below where you can gain early access to this entire series.